Sonic CD, the long-lost and now-found 2D Sonic game. I first played Sonic CD back when it came out on the GameCube as part of Sonic Gems collection. Like most people at the time, Sonic CD was the only reason I bought it. I'd often heard the game described as the best Sonic game. The fates that be deemed this holy hedgehog rail too awesome for any casual gamer to play. Locked behind the mythical Sega CD, which, let's be honest, literally not a single person in human history has actually owned. But thanks to Sonic Gems collection, Sonic CD was being made available for the entire world to play, on a game console people actually owned. I put that disc in my GameCube, played Sonic CD for the first time in my life, and I hated it and threw it in the trash. It just didn't live up, and I had no idea why. I assumed there was something about the game I just wasn't seeing. Fast forward a decade and the remake comes out. I get my hands on it for the PS3. Now an adult with all the perspective those years of experience bring, I played through the game again. And something unbelievable happened. I still hated it and threw it in the trash again. Eventually, however, the day came, I decided to strap up my boots, throw the game out of my trash, and get to 100% completing Sonic CD. I expected it to suck just as much as it always did, but then something double miraculous happened. I stopped hating it! I dare even say loved it! But what happened? Why did this terrible game suddenly become good? You see, originally, I was playing it the same way you would any other classic Sonic title. You run directly to the end of the stage and grab the Chaos Time Stoner Rolls along the way. This is the most obvious way to play Sonic CD, it's how most platformers like Sonic CD are played, and it's the worst way to play Sonic CD. See, levels in Sonic CD aren't designed the same way as those of the other 2D Sonics. Where the other games featured a series of obstacles to get past, Sonic CD features level elements you're meant to interact with. Reaching the goalpost is simpler than in almost any other 2D Sonic, with almost every level requiring nothing more complex than holding right and occasionally pressing the jump button. This, despite its name, is not the goal. The goalpost is, in fact, the method by which you tell the game, I'm done here. The true meat of the game is in creating a good future through the time travel mechanic. Somewhere in every stage is a robot teleporter. In the present, the teleporter is indestructible, but in the past, you can destroy it. By destroying the robot teleporter, you kill all the enemies in the stage and, more importantly, create a good future. You begin the level in the present, and thus your first mission is to travel to the past by using one of several past time posts scattered around the stage, then entering and maintaining Sonic's default run speed for a few seconds. After you've done this, you can find the robot teleporter, destroy it, and bam! You're now free to bank the stage by passing the goal. This multi-step process of traveling to the past, finding the teleporter, and then exiting takes advantage of the game's level design, forcing the player to interact with otherwise superfluous elements. The first step, traveling to the past, inherently requires an understanding and skillful execution of the basic game mechanics. Finding the sign is the easy part. After you've found it, maintaining max speed is easier said than done. It's recommended to move slowly for a while so as not to waste your time travel attempt, scouting out the level for areas that lend well to fluid movement. Some methods are free, such as instances with two springs leading into each other, but others you'll have to scout out and run through a little obstacle course. Then comes finding the robot teleporter. You might get lucky and come across it while breezing through the stage, but most of the time you're gonna have to comb every square inch. The stages have been designed with this playstyle in mind. Each section of the level loops to other sections, allowing for fluid backtracking, climbing, and descending. And of course, in order to traverse the entire level, you're going to be interacting with all the unique elements that a minimalist player would just be walking right past. Tons of spring-based platforming, playing around with conveyor belts, loop-de-loop upon loop-de-loop upon loop-de-loop. Levels that take a couple minutes to reach the goal might see you exploring more than the 10-minute time limit before you see the teleporter. And all the while, you're learning the intricacies of the individual stage, to the point you'll have a good idea of the entire game's map by the end of your playthrough. My first two playthroughs of the game, I was playing it as a classic Sonic game, which is just not a fun way to play. You're running past all these awesome loop-de-loops and never take the time to breathe in any of it. But as soon as I went for a completionist run, I came to realize I'd never really played Sonic CD. It's like going into Doom and trying to punch all the enemies to death. I mean, maybe you can do it, but you know, you're kinda missing the point. Now I want to make clear, I'm not actually defending Sonic CD here. While I would say it's a lot better of a game than my initial impression, the fact I hate it on my first couple outings makes incredibly evident its fatal flaw. The game makes no effort to show the player how it's best played, and how to play it is itself a bit obtuse. obtuse. I originally thought time posts were activated the moment you pass them, but in fact they're more akin to a consumable item. And on my first couple playthroughs, I never even knew robot teleporters were a thing in the first place. I didn't realize how the whole bad future, good future thing worked until hearing about the robot teleporters in reviews. Sure, the instruction manual probably mentions them, but come on, how often do you actually read those things? But that said, as obtuse as the game is, once you figured out how to play it, it's a blast. And I'm real glad I finally got to actually play Sonic CD. Not the one I grew to hate, but the fabled long-lost game from my childhood. The remake is still available on PC, PS3, 360, and mobile, and is highly recommended if you'd like to try out a more exploration-focused momentum platformer. Special thanks to all Patreon backers, including Lord Arenci, Eric Flynn, Leslam, Zany Band, Super Scrub ZO, RB Drox, Zalino, Mr. Harry Wonka, Mrs. Seckman, Andrew Seibert, Xanon1, Matt Smith, Alexander Botkin, and Chris Nate. Let me know how and why this video sucks in the comments below. Toot toot goes Zymos Warrior for watching, and get out of my house.